The great conversation started with an honest question. Mr. Buffett, how can I make $30 billion? dollars? He then started sharing his answer. Start young. Charlie's always said that the big thing about it is we started building this little snowball on the top of a very long hill, so we started at a very early age and rolled the snowball down. The trick is to have a very long hill, which means either starting very young or living to be very old. I would do it exactly the same way if I were doing it in the investment world. He said that if they were getting out of school today and he had $10,000 to invest, he would start with A's. That he would start going right through companies and he would focus on smaller companies. He knew that he would be working with smaller sums and there was more chance that something was overlooked in that arena. It could mean having to buy businesses or little pieces of businesses called stocks, and you have to buy them at attractive prices and you have to buy into good businesses. That advice will be the same 100 years from now in terms of investing. If he were working with a small amount of money, the universe would be huge compared to the universe of possible ideas he works with. He was working with a tiny amount of money and he would pour through volumes of businesses and he would find one or two that he could put $10,000 into or $15,000 into. They were ridiculously cheap, and obviously as the money increased, the universe of possible ideas started shrinking dramatically. The times were also better for doing it at that time. If you're working with a small amount of money, with exactly the same background that he and Charlie have and the same ideas, he thinks that you can make very significant sums. But as soon as you start getting the money up into the millions, the curve on expectable results fall off just dramatically. When he started, he went through the pages of the manuals page by page. He would say, if you're working with a small sum of money and you're really interested in the business and willing to do the work, you will find something. You will find some things that promise very large returns compared to what you will be able to deliver with large sums of money. Is business school worth it? Someone asked. He answered by saying, it depends on the person, much more than it depends on the school. Some people are going to get a lot out of advanced education, and some people are going to get very little, and he doesn't even think it's important that every person goes to college at all. You gotta see the different reasons for going to college or not. There is nothing like following your passion. He said that he loves what he does. They have managers, some of them went to business school, and some of them did not. They're all types, but the common factor why they're successful is that they love what they do. You've got to find that in life. Some people are very blessed in finding it very early. So if you find something that turns you on, you're going to do it very well. The beauty of it is, in a sense, there's not that much competition. There are not a lot of people out there that are going to be running faster than you in the race that you elect to get into. You may well have found it, but if you haven't found it yet, you've got to keep looking. We've got 70 plus managers. Some of them didn't. They had one guy that didn't go to high school and even quit in 4th grade. Mrs. B never went to school a day in her life. When you go out to the furniture mart, what you are looking at on those 70 acres is the largest home furnishing store, about 400 million sales, largest store in the United States. And it comes from $500 of capital paid in by a woman that never went to school a day in her life and couldn't read or write. She loved what she was doing and she was well into her 90s. She invited him over to her house for dinner, which was very unusual for her. She had a very nice house, 6 or 7 blocks away from the store. He went into the house and the sofa, the chairs, the lamp, and the dining room table all had little green price tags hanging down. It all made her feel at home. She loved it all her life. Just think of what that produced. It's incredible. Now, one time his dad used to quote Ralph Emerson, that the power that lies within you is new in nature. Basically, the power that was within Mrs. B was new in nature, and over a lifetime it produced amazing things. So find your passion and then don't let anything stop you. The biggest mistakes are the ones that actually don't show up. They are the mistakes of omission rather than commission. We've never lost that much money on any one investment, but it's the things that he knew enough to do that he didn't do. We have missed profits of as much, maybe $10 billion in things that he knew enough to do and he didn't do. Now, the fact that he didn't buy Microsoft was way back is not a foregone opportunity because he didn't know enough to make that decision. but there have been other investments where he didn't know enough to make the decision. And for one reason or another, he either didn't do it at all or he did it on a small scale. There's no place where it shows missed opportunities, but he has missed some big ones. Say this story. We'll take a person graduating from college and assuming they are in normal shape and everything, he will be glad to pay them, probably $50,000 for 10% of all their earnings for the rest of their lives. Well, if he is willing to pay them 10% for $50,000 for 10%, that means they're worth $500,000 if they haven't got a dime in their pocket, as long as they've got a good mind and a good body. If you're interested in business, you definitely think you ought to learn all the accounting you can by the time you're in your early 20s. Accounting is the language of business. Now, that doesn't mean it's a perfect language, so you have to know the limitations of that language as well as all of the aspects of it. He would advise you to learn accounting, and he would advise you in terms of part-time employment or anything else that works at a number of businesses. There's nothing like seeing how the business operates to build your judgment in the future about businesses. When you understand what kinds of things are very competitive and what kinds of things are less competitive and why that works that way, all of that adds to your knowledge. So yes, he would do a lot of reading. If you're interested in investments, he would take accounting courses. He would do a lot of reading about investments and he would get as much business experience. He would talk business with people that are in business to find out what they think makes their operation tick or what they have problems. 70 years ago, he was in high school almost a third as long as the country has been around, and when he was in high school, he really only had two things in mind: girls and cars. Since he wasn't doing very well with girls, he talked about cars. Try to just imagine that when we finish, he's going to let you pick out the car of your choice, pick out any color, you name it, and after that, it'll be tied up with a bow and it'll be at your house tomorrow. Now, you are thinking, what's the catch? So the catch is, it's the only car you're going to get in your lifetime. What are you going to do knowing that? That's the only car you're ever going to have and you love that car. You will probably take care of it. But here's the thing, you will not be going to get only one car in your lifetime, but you're going to get one body and one mind, and that's all you're going to get. That body and mind feel terrific, but it has to last you a lifetime. The key is to certainly, in terms of your personal life, the most important decision you'll make is the spouse the most of you will likely have. It is very important to surround yourself with people who are far better than you are. You are going to move in the direction of the people you associate with. He had enough sense to learn from these people that life went better if you behave yourself better, and it took a while. His advice is that as you seek out your partner in business, your partner in life, whatever it may be, look for the people that actually are examples to you rather than somebody that you think you need to straighten out yourself. Because simple rules like delighting your customers, working through other people associating with people that will cause you to move on a better path that you might otherwise have, are actually the people that will take you so far in life that you have never actually imagined. The life lesson here, look for people who can help you see the things that you can't see with your own eyes. Look for people who will be honest to tell you the things you just want to hear, but the things that you should hear. Be inspired by their stories. Don't compare yourself with them, but see how they persevere in life. Take the leap of faith. Your own story is about to happen.